English Rise Podcast.
Easy listening and speaking practice.
Do you ever know the right words and yet everything slows down because you're translating in your head? You start a sentence, stop, search for a word, and by the time you finish, the moment is gone. Do you translate every sentence in your head before you speak? Does English feel slow or stressful? If that sounds like you, stay with us. Today, we'll share small, practical ways to start thinking directly in English, so speaking becomes easier and more natural. Welcome to the English Rise Podcast, easy English listening and speaking practice to help you build fluency and confidence. I'm Emma Collins, your host, and with me today is Alex Rivera, an English coach and someone who used to translate everything in his head. Alex, welcome.
Thanks, Emma. Hi, everyone. Yeah, I remember the translating stage well. I'd rehearse sentences in my head in my native language, then try to fit English words into those sentences. It was slow and exhausting. I'm excited to share what helped me move away from that. Smiles.
Before we dive in, a quick note. Today's episode is calm, simple, and practical. We'll explain why translating can hold you back, how your brain naturally learns language, and, most important, tiny exercises you can do every day. Alex and I will share short stories from our lives, and we'll end with a friendly 7-day challenge you can try this week. Okay, quick story from me. When I first taught abroad, a student told me she knew the words but couldn't speak because she was waiting for a perfect translation. I realized she wasn't alone. I used to do the same when I learned Spanish. I'd think in my head, how do I say this exact structure? And miss chances to practice. What about you, Alex? One short moment?
Oh, yeah. I remember ordering food in English and translating each ingredient from my language to English. The waiter waited, I panicked, and I ended up pointing and saying one-word answers. It felt embarrassing, but it was also a turning point. I decided to try thinking in English for just a minute each day. Small steps helped a lot.
Good. Now, let's talk about what translating looks like in real conversations. When people translate, they often stop to find exact words, create sentences word by word from their native language, or use grammar rules slowly. The result is slower speaking, awkward grammar, and lower confidence. Alex, can you give a concrete example where a direct translation sounds strange?
Sure. In my language, we say something like, I have hunger, to mean I'm hungry. If a learner translates that directly into English and says, I have hunger, people will understand, but it sounds unnatural. Another example, some languages put the adjective after the noun, so translating word for word gives you weird English order, like car red instead of red car. Small differences like this make sentences sound off.
Exactly. But here's the important part. Translating is normal. It's not a failure, it's a stage of learning. The goal is to move from translation toward more automatic English thinking. We'll do that step by step. No rush, no pressure. So, Alex, can you explain in simple English how the brain builds language? People want to know why they translate at first and how to stop.
Yes, the brain learns languages in layers. First, we learn single words, labels for things. Then we learn phrases and patterns. Over time, with repetition, the brain stores common phrases as one unit. We call these chunks. When someone knows many chunks, they don't build every sentence word by word. They pull up a phrase and use it. School-style learning focuses on rules and translation. Real-life learning focuses on hearing, repeating, and using language in context. That's why practicing chunks is so powerful.
Chunks. I like that. So instead of building subject plus verb plus object every time, your brain learns I'm not sure, or that sounds great as one piece. That speeds up speaking and reduces translation.
Right, and chunks can be small. I think so. No problem. Or slightly longer. I'm not sure about that. When you store these, your brain reacts faster because it doesn't translate each word. You'll sound more natural and feel more confident.
Okay, practical part. Many listeners are busy. If someone has only a few minutes a day, how can they still practice thinking in English? Alex, walk us through short routines.
Simple routines work best. Morning, say aloud or think simple sentences about what you're doing. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm making coffee. Today, I will answer emails. Commute or walk, think about your plans in English. After work, I'll cook dinner. I need to buy milk. Change key apps and phone settings to English. Even for a short time, that pushes your brain into English mode. The key is 3 to 5 minutes several times a day. It's not huge, but it's consistent.
Yes, pick one English moment per day. Morning coffee, a short walk, or while washing dishes, and label it your English time. Even a few minutes helps your brain switch.
And don't worry about mistakes. The aim is to train the brain, not to be perfect. Use simple sentences and keep going.
Let's move to some concrete exercises listeners can try now. I'll introduce them, and Alex will model or explain how to do each one for different levels. First, object naming. Alex?
Object naming is easy and powerful. Look around you and name things in English. Then add a short phrase. For example, blue book. I'm opening the window. Green cup. I drink water. Beginners stick to single words and short phrases. Intermediate, add a verb or short sentence. Advanced, describe function or opinion. A green cup. I like this one because it's big. This trains your brain to connect words into short, usable phrases.
Short exercise 2. Micro stories. Choose a picture or a quick memory and describe it in English for 30 to 60 seconds. Keep it simple. Alex, give an example for a beginner and an intermediate speaker.
Beginner, I went to the park. It was sunny. I sat on a bench. I ate an apple. Intermediate, yesterday I walked to the park near my house. The sun was out and I read for 20 minutes. I felt relaxed. Advanced, yesterday I walked to the park because I needed a break from work. The light was warm and reading there felt calming. Micro stories build flow. You learn to move from idea to idea in English without translating every word.
Third exercise, question-answer loops. Ask yourself a question in English and answer in full sentences. Examples, what am I doing now? What did I do yesterday? Repeat with variations and try to answer without translating first.
Yes, and if you get stuck, it's okay to pause. Let me think. Use phrases to buy time. That's a good question. Or, I guess. The pause is fine. Native speakers do it too. The goal is to keep processing in English.
Fourth, no translation listening. Listen to a short audio, maybe a 1 to 2 minute clip from a podcast or a song, and focus on the main idea, not every word. After listening, summarize in simple English. This trains comprehension without translation.
For beginners, pick very short clips and focus on 1 to 2 main words. Intermediate learners, try to summarize with 2-3 sentences. Advanced, give opinions or connections. Little by little, your brain recognizes meaning directly in English.
Now let's focus on chunks, those ready-made phrases that speed up thinking. Alex, what are some useful chunks learners can start using today?
Start with small, everyday chunks. Greetings and small talk. How's it going? Nice to meet you. Long time no see. Opinions. In my opinion, I kind of think that. To be honest. Reactions. That sounds great. No way. Really? Practice these aloud and put them on a list or a notes app. When you hear them in shows or conversations, save them. Use them often. Repetition makes them automatic.
Yes, and keep a tiny chunk notebook, a physical notebook, or a note on your phone. When you hear a useful phrase in a show or a friend's talk, write it down and practice it that day.
Also, try shadowing chunks. Hear a short sentence and repeat it immediately, matching rhythm and intonation. It trains your mouth and ear together. But don't shadow everything. Pick phrases that feel natural and useful. Also try shadowing chunks.
Okay, real conversation strategies. You're talking to someone live in English, and your brain begins to translate. What can you do in that moment? Alex?
Breathe. Slow down. Use simple sentences. If you don't know a word, paraphrase. Explain the idea with other words. Example, if you don't know spatula, say the flat tool to turn food. Use time buys like, let me think, or that's a good question. And apologize less. Native speakers accept small mistakes. Keep communicating.
Mini scripts can help. For asking for help, how do you say in English or what does mean? For buying time, let me think. That's interesting. I need a moment. Practice these aloud so they become automatic when you need them.
Another tip, when you feel stuck, switch to a chunk you know. I'm not sure, or can you repeat that? These short phrases keep the conversation moving while your brain finds the next idea.
All right, listeners, ready for something fun and doable? We made a simple 7-day Think in English challenge. Alex, can you outline each day?
Day 1 to 2, object naming plus one short sentence about what you're doing. Day 3 to 4, one micro story per day, 30 to 60 seconds, about your day or a picture. Day 5 to 6, pick one routine, breakfast, shower, commute, as English-only time, even 3-5 minutes. Day 7, record yourself speaking for 2 to 3 minutes in English without translating. Don't aim for perfection, just record and listen to notice progress. Track how you feel. Are things slightly faster, less translating?
Yes. Repeat or extend the challenge after the week. Little, consistent practice beats rare long sessions. And remember, progress is small and steady. Celebrate that.
If you want, share your 7-day experience with a friend or in a language group. Saying it out loud to someone else adds accountability and gives you real conversation practice.
Before we close, a few final encouragements. You will translate sometimes, probably for a long time, and that's okay. The goal is not to stop translating overnight, but to give your brain more moments in English so thinking in English becomes easier over time.
Right. Think of it like training a muscle. You don't lift the heaviest weight the first day. You do small reps. English thinking grows with regular, gentle practice. Be kind to yourself.
Quick recap. Notice when you translate. Choose one small English-only moment per day. Practice chunks. Try the exercises. Object naming, micro stories, question loops, no translation listening, and do the 7-day challenge. Small habits build automatic thinking.
And one last practical thing. Set reminders on your phone that say, English time, 3 minutes. Treat them like a gentle nudge. Over time, your brain will expect English in that moment, and translation will drop.
Thank you for listening today. Remember, learning English takes time, and that's okay. If you enjoyed this podcast, come back again and keep practicing. We'll keep learning together. Easy listening, better speaking, rise higher. See you in the next episode.
If you want more support, try our next episode where we focus on useful conversation chunks for work and travel. Follow or subscribe to English Rise so you don't miss it. And hey, try the 7-day challenge and tell us how it went. Small steps, big changes. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone. Remember, confidence over perfection. Try one small English moment today and notice how your brain answers in English. You've got this.